huge legal victory in the O'Keefe versus Twitter lawsuit. Twitter tried to have the case removed to a friendly jurisdiction, and a federal judge just ruled against them and has ordered the case to remain in Veritas' backyard.
I saw a video from Project Veritas that was taken down because they confronted a Facebook executive on his front lawn.
I don't have an understanding of the case, but I would imagine if we were to take a video like that down, it would be due to doxing.
So we just won our first victory against social media giant Twitter. The Manhattan federal court ruled to remand, or basically means to allow the case to be brought back down from federal to state level. We can only think of one reason why they do this. Their strategy to remove the case from New York State to federal court was obviously so that they could transfer the case from New York to California, where they are located, their own backyard, where cases like this routinely get dismissed because of that Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act that prevents these companies from being held liable. You may recall on April 19th, I sued Twitter for suspending my own personal Twitter account, which at the time I had over 900,000 followers, over the false claim that I was operating fake accounts. Well, guess what? Victory has never felt so sweet. They thought we'd be okay with the court removing the case from state to federal court because, according to Twitter, this case could be worth millions of dollars of damages. Listen to this Twitter lawyer fumbling and bumbling, scrambling in front of federal judge Barbara Moses.
Mr. O'Keefe, throughout the complaint and in public statements, has said that the point of this lawsuit is to hold Twitter accountable, to have a public accounting. Twitter is a company that has $3.7 billion in revenue. We would submit, Your Honor, that if your allegation is that you want to punish and deter a company like Twitter for what the complaint alleges is an internal left-wing conspiracy to silence Jim O'Keefe, Your Honor, we do not have confidence that the amount of the punitive damages will not be in fact over the $75,000.
Under federal law, Twitter would need me to ask for more than $75,000 to keep this case in federal court. But if this were about the money, we would have been in federal court already. It's only safe to assume they've never really been up against someone who doesn't care about the money, who isn't in it for the money. For me, in Project Veritas, this case is about one thing. It's about justice. They never saw this coming, so in court, they were thrown for a loop. My own lawyer told the court this wasn't about the money, that we didn't want more than $75,000 in damages, and thus that the case had to be sent back to state court in New York State, where they can't rely on the dismissal-prone judges in their backyard. Just look at the transcript. Twitter's attorney, Ahmed, argues for 13 pages that Twitter will suffer damages of more than $75,000. And while we would love to make Twitter to pay, we want them to pay in a way that will last longer than writing a check. Their argument was even confusing to the judge, Barbara C. Moses, who said,
"It seems to me that any attempt by Twitter to keep this case here in federal court on the present record would be likely unsuccessful."
Sure enough, it was unsuccessful. The judge ordered the case to be remanded back to New York State court within days. So what exactly is Twitter so afraid of? Us winning? Deposing Jack Dorsey?
I saw a video from Project Veritas that was taken down because they confronted a Facebook executive on his front lawn. I can show you a video of CNN doing the exact same thing.
I don't have an understanding of the case, but I would imagine if we were to take a video like that down, it would be due to a doxing concern.
Speaking of depositions, they have reason to be afraid. Just wait until you see what happens next. In the New York Times case, over 900 minutes of videotaped depositions. And that's just what we have so far. These people have never been held accountable in their lives by any authority until now.